In this video, I'm going to tell you how to cut through the overwhelm and where to start with nutrition and working out when you have ADHD. So I literally just got out of the shower. I still have wet hair because when you have shower thoughts, you're like, I need to film. So I got out, I put some clothes on, I was like, I need to film. So enjoy my freshly washed hair. Yeah. Okay, so I want to tell you about cutting through the overwhelm of where to start with nutrition, working out, wellness, because I know for myself, especially if you Google, there's like a million things you can do and a million places to start. You're like, I'm gonna do them all. You're like, shit. Now just full on ADHD happens and you're trying to do all the things and nothing gets done, and then long story short, this is why you're here and watching this video, because you're like, I can't stick with working out. I can't seem to prep food without getting overwhelmed and distracted, and it just hurts my brain. I hear you, I see you, I feel you. So this is what I'm going to tell you today, and watch the end. I'll tell you exactly where you're going to start with either nutrition or with exercise, depending on what your focus is, and also giving you a personalized night routine to really boost that wellness, your wellness journey. Okay, first thing, we'll start with a little analogy. Again, shower thoughts. So yesterday was like a full-on ADHD day for me, where, you know, those days, it's like there's so many things. Your brain's like, I want to do it all. I want to do the fun things over here and the fun things over here and over there. And you're like, I know I need to do this, but now I'm going to jump from this and this and this and this and this. And you're like, oh my God. So I visualize it like all of these colored jewels just like floating above my head. So many jewels. And like a Pokemon game, I gotta catch them all. I'm like, I want to do this jewel and this one and this one and this one. Ooh, and this fun sparkly one over here. But we can't do it all. So what I want you to realize, if this visualization works for you, it's like all these floating jewels, we can't catch them all right now. Because when we do, we know what happens. We know we go into our default ADHD brain, which, ADHD is fantastic when we can harness it. But we don't want to catch them all. We just want to catch one or two for right now. So I think like, okay, all these shiny jewels, can't catch them all. First part, you guys, is recognizing it. As soon as you can recognize that, what happens is you start to learn like, okay, I'm having an ADHD moment. I want to do all the things, but I'm just going to focus on that one or two things. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. Because this is the hard part. You're like, I'm just going to do this one jewel. I'm going to capture that pretty sparkly blue jewel right up there. I'm going to get you. I'm going to capture you. Once you do that and you stick with that activity, that task, and you capture it, and you're like, I did it. Shiny blue jewel. You're in my pocket now. When you do that, you strengthen your trust muscle, being like, yeah, okay, I stuck to one thing, I focused, I did it, I completed it. The world didn't end. I didn't stop having creative ideas. I still have 5,000 amazing ideas that I can still pursue, and I'm okay. And then you're like, okay, shiny red jewel, I'm going to capture you next. And you do that, and you capture it, you put it into your pocket. You're like, okay, I did that, and again, the world didn't end. I didn't have a shortage of amazing ideas. My ADHD brain is still working strong and I can harness it. And it just strengthens that trust that you can do one thing at a time and it feels really good. It's like the biggest dopamine hit. You're like, I did it. Yes. So think of your exercise, your nutrition, eating well, just like that. All of these things you can do. You could like work out. You could do this type of workout or that type of workout. You could prep healthy foods. You could drink more water. You could get more sleep. There's so many things you could do. But let's just stick with one of those shiny jewels. Just one, and trust that whatever shiny, pretty colored jewel you choose is the right one for now. And if not, I promise you're still going to take some steps forward in your wellness journey. And you can just course correct. Then next time you're like, well, I went for the orange jewel. It's a little smaller than I expected. So I'm going to go for that nice, like, opal color jewel. It looks way bigger, way shinier, way prettier. So next time you'll go for that jewel and capture it, right? But you don't know until you take steps and try and see what happens, and trusting that you can do all the things. You just got to stick with one right now. Oh, does that make sense? Shower thoughts, guys. I was like, oh my God. Analogy. So how does this look like for you for starting with nutrition, starting with exercise? Where do you start? Well, the first thing I always ask clients is, what do you want to start with? Does nutrition feel like a fit, or working out? Choose one of those. So if you're like, yeah, I really want to start with nutrition, I always say, okay, what are you doing now? And what sounds like to you a logical next step for your nutrition to improve it? Because maybe that's just drinking more water. Maybe it's making one healthy meal a day instead of getting takeout for all your meals. Or maybe it's making healthy food for every weekday. Or, I have a simple healthy meal blueprint. Message me or comment below if you want it. I can send it your way. I'll also link to the video where I describe it. Or maybe it's just following that blueprint so you don't have to meal prep for hours and you don't have to follow complicated recipes. Like making healthy foods is really easy. Maybe it's something like that. It's just, using the blueprint and making healthy foods. Maybe it's just getting more veggies in your day. Choose one thing that you're like, that feels easy, that feels like a logical next step for me where I'm at, and follow it for minimum 2 weeks. I always say the 2-week rule, because if you think about it, 14 days, you can kind of do anything for 14 days. Even if it feels scary and you're like, this is the wrong decision, you're like, but if I just did it for 14 days, nothing bad's gonna happen. I'm not gonna take a step backwards. I can, cognitively remember to do this for 2 weeks, and then you can assess. After 2 weeks, usually you're gonna keep doing it because it feels really good and it was easy, or you captured that jewel, and you can capture the next one. Okay, so if exercise is something you want to focus on, I say, okay, where are you at right now? Are you working out consistently already? Fantastic. Maybe it's adding something else onto your workout, or making it a bit more challenging. For most people, that consistency is where we're lacking. So that could literally just be creating your, what I call, fitness system. And I'll link the video below for that, where you're creating your system on how you are going to work out consistently. Or maybe it's just setting your goals. Maybe for 2 weeks, I'm just going to really get clear on what my goals are for fitness. Or maybe it's finding a fitness class you can go to every Monday. Maybe it's doing one workout in the week for 2 weeks. What's logical next step for you to get started with exercise for 2 weeks? That's it. Okay? See, easy. Capture that jewel. Now, I want to give you one other shiny jewel you're allowed to capture at the same time. You can have up to 2. Is having a nighttime routine. So if you can have a nighttime routine, wind down before bed so you can have a great quality sleep, waking up feeling refreshed, I know you're going to have your other jewel feel so much easier to capture because you're just setting yourself up for it properly. So I do give personalized night routines. Just click the link below. I give it to my email community, so sign up for the email community. It is free, and you get your free personalized night routine plus access to free coaching on Wednesdays. So you get to come with all your frustrations, all of those shiny jewels where you don't know which one to capture first. Really, that can be hard sometimes. Then sign up for the email community and you get access to free coaching Wednesdays, where I can help you navigate all of those shiny sparkly jewels floating above your head. That's it, guys. I love shower thoughts. So comment below what your latest shower thought is, but most importantly, comment with the jewel emoji and what action you're going to take towards either nutrition or is it exercise. I'd love to know so I can support you as well. I'll see you all tomorrow.